This is the artwork that I had made at Arcade Art Shop. Been waiting quite a while for this because Ollie is such a perfectionist that he remade it for me because there was the tiniest of marks that he wasn't happy with. So I told him I was happy to wait because I knew that it would be worth it. So I designed this from some vectors that I found online and then had it printed on plexi. So the dimensions of the front of the coin door on my Atari Cabaret build. I'm not going to cut it. This is the first time that I've had a marquee printed directly onto the plexi, and I know that this is a new printer that Ollie has been using, so I can't wait to see it. I'm really excited. That looks awesome. And we can see the printing on the back. How awesome is that? I'm in the middle of a job, so I don't have much space at the moment, but I think I've just got enough to do this. Oh, look at that. It fits perfectly. I have these slightly over the top, but they had the big washers on them, so I can screw them into the wood and let the washers just hold the marquee in place. I didn't want to risk cutting anything or drilling anything, so these will just sit on the corners. I want to be really careful. Okay, so they're in just barely tight enough to hold that in place. So I don't have any of the electronics or anything in at the moment, so I've just put in a test power supply, set at 12 volts at the moment. But that looks awesome. So we can adjust the voltage. So that's 9, 11, and that's 12 volt. So in this light, it's quite good at just at 9 volt. Let's turn the lights off. So that's just at 9 volt. I think that looks really good. I want to make a card bezel to go around the monitor, and I know I could measure it and whatnot, but I wanted to try this way, so I've just covered it in masking tape, and then I have marked around the edge, so in theory I can take this off the screen and then I have an exact template of the screen, and then I can put that onto my cardboard and cut around it. So let's see how this goes. So I'm guessing the trick is going to be getting it off in one piece. And it's breaking apart already. That's the work. So I can lay that onto some card, stick it down and try cutting around it. So I have this black card, and we're looking at 480 wide. I should get my So 480 wide, 530 long. So that should be our screen bezel. I guess we should check it. So that is good. It fits in the gap that I've got. I know that we want 55 mil from the top, so that the bezel will go from the top of the screen to the top of the cabinet. I'm just going to score that as a reference, and I'll probably make the bottom open. So that is transferred over. So I'm going to leave the bottom open, and we really want to cut a little bit around the outside of the pattern to allow for tolerances, and the fact that the tape is flat. I guess we could do the line first and check it. You can always take more off. No, the tape is pulling off the cardboard. Okay, so that is a really rough but simple screen bezel. So let's put it in. We've got smoked plexi in front, so it just needs to hide all the stuff behind the screen. See what this is like. So, like I say, it's open at the bottom. And I just want it to fit over the screen. I know that the screen isn't in the centre of the cabinet, so let's tweak that. So, take some off the top so that it sits in the right place. So we'll just take a line off the top. I took the one that I cut, found the middle position, cut that in half, and then use each side to do this on some thicker stuff that shouldn't wobble so much. There we go. So that's a lot thicker card, and it will rest on the top of the monitor, and basically does what we want, which is hides all the stuff from the back. So once the smoked plexiglass is in the front, that'll look really good. I might just go around those edges with the black marker just to hide them. So that is how to make a simple bezel using masking tape to make a pattern, and then just sticking it onto the cardboard and just cutting it out. Simple as that, really. Obviously you could do it a lot more complicated by bringing the shapes out on the side. But if it's just a matter of just hiding what's behind the screen, then that will do a simple job. This is the last part that I had on order. This is the smoked plexi to go in front of the screen. This came from perspex.sheet.co.uk. Had it cut to size, and then I had the edges polished. Normally I would buy my perspex sheet from a local place, but they didn't have it thick enough. I would buy the big sheet, and then I would use the laser to cut it to size. So I think before we take the protective plastic off, we should do all the fitting, make sure it fits properly so we don't scratch anything. I've done a quick test fit and it's okay down at the bottom, but I've obviously pulled this in too much at the top, and it's really tight fit at the top, and in my test fitting I've scuffed all the paint, but it fits. You just have to be careful. So now we need to find the best spot for it, and I've made this piece with an L shape so that it's got something to rest on, and we can easily get it on and off. I'm just going to put a piece of wood down to rest this on, and I'm going to really carefully drill a hole in the top. And this will be covered by the metal, so we won't see it. And the trick to drilling holes in plexi is to not push down and just let the weight of the drill do it. Okay, so that was okay. So now I'm going to put this back in. Get it roughly where I want it. The cabinet's still obviously quite wonky. Because it won't go straight. So I'm not doing that tight, I just want to hold the plexi in place. So that will sit over the top, so we won't see those holes that we've just put in. The fact that it's not perfectly straight, as long as it's straight on the sides, is okay. So if we put our control panel in, okay, so my support is in. I've removed the screws from there. Now I have this metal piece which will go on the top, and I'm just going to drew some holes for this. And there we have the last piece in. So our plexi, the metal support and the control panel fits, and there's hardly any gap at the sides, so everything has come together really nicely. So I guess the last thing to do is to put the monitor back in and peel that film off. There's always something. Okay, this is not going to work because I can't get the monitor over the top, so I'm going to have to cut enough space for the monitor to go in. Shit. Okay, I've cut that piece that went all the way across down, so now it's just going to be like that, one on either side. So I'm just going to put this back, screws, and hold it in place. So let's try this again. I really need to cut that down a fraction. So these need tweaking so they've got more support. And I've got some metal brackets that I can put at the back, but they're not going to have much weight. So now we should be able to get the monitor in. A cardboard bezel. It's got to be done. So that wants raising up a fraction when we come to do that properly. I got a shim. And then our control panel. What do we think?